What's going on? We back. It's the Box Clank and more. Y'all know what it is. Your boy CJ Goodfella talking about some preliminary talks of a Deontay Wilder, Luis King Kong Ortiz fight. A lot of people, starting to ask me when I'm gonna do the breakdown, and I'm gonna do the breakdown the week of the fight, Monday, just how I roll. And sometimes, when I push it to Monday, sometimes I be wishing I pushed it to Friday, but I like to give some people something to chew on this fight, but haven't really broke down film, but seen these guys fight, a few times, probably more than a few most of the time, and boy, we've been a little bit cold on the predictions. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm not able to commit full time to really breaking the film down like I want to. Got a lot of different things going on, but hey, usually those international fights that get me, should have put Groves, but hey, it is what it is. We picked Devin, but obviously everybody thought Devin won anyway. Picked Caleb Plant, and we also picked obviously David Benavidez. We picked Danny Garcia, so we came out on top, and that's what we do. But this is gonna be an excellent fight, and I was kind of leaning towards Luis Ortiz, just because I believe Luis Ortiz is the only heavyweight that's skillful, for real. If Luis Ortiz, you put him in another weight class, let's just say hypothetically, his skill set. I mean, he has skills. I think he's a guy that can take away somebody's best asset. But in the heavyweight division, it's a little bit different. Because one mistake, and you out of there. Period. And he's an older guy. And what's going on? Luis Ortiz is this. And what's going on with people? People are going to root for Luis Ortiz. They're going to tell you Ortiz going to knock out Wilder. Wilder ain't got a chance. This and that. And if Wilder ends up knocking out Luis Ortiz, then people gonna say, "Oh, he was old, and you know what? He was a PED abuser, or he was, he hadn't been in the ring, and he was out the ring, and he had high blood." You're gonna see all these excuses. And Wilder's really in a lose-lose situation. The only win-win situation for Deontay Wilder is Anthony Joshua, and we already talked about that. We get into that in a little bit more towards the end of this video. But Luis Ortiz is a one-handed fighter. People must know that he's a southpaw with only one hand. Tony Thompson exposed his weakness. He's a good puncher. Of course, he knocked out Brian Jennings. He beat Latif Coyote. And Latif Coyote said that he knew Luis Ortiz was on something. It wasn't right in there. It wasn't right. He said he didn't get tired. And he said that. He said that he felt that he was on something. And I could tell in Latif Coyote's face, he was telling the truth. Because he fought another guy that was a PED user as well, and Antonio Tarver. If y'all remember that fight on Showtime when he had Freddie Roach in his corner. And you have to take that into account. That Luis Ortiz, he's took a lot of drug testing according to his manager when they went back and forth with Deontay Wilder. He said they've been tested like 7 times in a short time span, and he's testing clean. I mean, you have to take into account, like, if he loses, his reputation is all the way on the line. Because if you get blown out by Deontay Wilder who don't have no skills, Deontay Wilder, who everybody legitimately hates, for the most part, American or not American, UK, Europe, a lot of people hate Deontay Wilder. It's evident by when Anthony Joshua continues to duck him, they continue to blame Deontay Wilder like he's the issue. Oh, Deontay Wilder he got 40 fights and Joshua only got 20 fights. Joshua need to catch up. No, not fighting 2 times a year. And if you're a champion, a unified champion, you should be ready for every challenger here. And no matter the number of fights, don't matter no more. If you need more fights, drop those belts and go hone your skills. In the ring, you got sparring and all types of stuff to hone your skills at. You feel me? But I do feel that Ortiz is the most skillful heavyweight. I mean, everybody else, I really don't have respect for their skill, in my opinion. They're not skillful. They can punch, or they okay. Ortiz is somebody that has some skill, that has some boxing ability, but at the end of the day, Wilder has a big height and reach advantage, which is to be said something about, because Ortiz, is he willing to take one to give his? Is he willing to go into the lion's mouth and test Deontay Wilder's skill and try to, go in there? Because he's not going to sit there and pick, Deontay Wilder apart like he did Brian Jennings or how he did somebody else. He's not going to pick that man apart because the height and the length, the speed, the size, the youth, the energy is too much in Deontay Wilder's favor. He's going to have to make a choice when he comes into the ring that he's gonna have to go in there and go get Deontay Wilder. He gonna try to take away the right hand. He's probably gonna try to walk towards the jab and try to attack. Try to attack a little bit. And I think if I'm Luis Ortiz, I'll focus on some body work as well. But that's a little bit of pedestrian for heavyweights. But it's a tough fight. And it has big implications because Luis Ortiz can be the ultimate bailout trump card like we talked about earlier for Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. And Luis Ortiz can get rid of Deontay Wilder. Joshua and Hearn are free. Because they can't fight. They're going to say this. They can't fight Luis Ortiz for undisputed. Well, they can and get his belt, but the WBA belt won't be on the line in Luis Ortiz's favor because he's suspended there. And they're going to say, well, we ain't going to fight Luis Ortiz, He can't fight for the WBA. After a year, and he get cleared, then we'll fight him. And they're going to put him off. But Deontay Wilder, he wins. He destroys Luis Ortiz. I mean, he's still there. That problem's still there. They're trying to wait Wilder out and see if Wilder loses and beat the guy that beat Wilder and, be able to get a super A side versus C or D side in that favor. And if, Luis Ortiz beat Deontay Wilder, I mean, I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are going to be popping some Don P. They might even crack over some Louis the 13th because their biggest problem is gone. So this fight is very, very interesting. And, for Deontay Wilder, it's going to be basically walking Luis Ortiz into that right hand. And Luis Ortiz is at Cuban school. They're not going to commit to a punch for real, and they're not going to commit to an attack unless they know it's there for sure. He ain't going to take no chances. I'm trying to tell you, if Ortiz in his mind already knows he's going to box, he's going to take away, pick Wilder apart, he's going to lose. He got to go in there and take a chance and kind of, take a chance with Wilder and be ready to capitalize on it. But Wilder's size, speed, and length and youth, it's going to be hard for him to, pick him apart like that. It is. He's going to have to take a chance at some point in this fight, hit Wilder with some of that respect, drop Wilder, create doubt in Wilder's mind, and then continue to pick him apart. But without creating doubt, without creating confusion in Wilder's mind and Wilder's corner, he's going to get dropped. Wilder's jab I'm pretty sure Deontay Wilder, his confidence is oozing right now. We see what last time he was confident versus Bermane Stiverne. He's confident versus Luis Ortiz. And I think he really, really want to prove the point that he can handle a southpaw like he did with Arco Spilka. He had an issue. And I think he's going to, he's going to unveil that jab that's becoming razor sharp for him and a check hook. And I think he's going to he's going to knock Luis Ortiz. If he knocks Luis Ortiz out, he's going to knock it out with a punch that, he ain't known for. But we'll see. I'm still, torn through the middle. And when I do film, we'll know.